Okay, we're gonna go live.
Good.
Yeah, might as well.
Good evening, everyone. But actually, we're going to go ahead and get started and recognize this evening. So, your high coaches, run 7 forward and tell us a little bit about your season and introduce your athletes.
What do you want to do? All these kids are here with really awesome. There you go. No, we had a really good season. We didn't get a ton of these canceled. Lots of kids broke lots of records. Keegan got first in state and has the new state record. Let's just raise the who placed it. Not here.
Step on up here. You're junior high track. Step up here in the horseshoe. Yeah. Yeah, let Greg staff get here. We're just going to report all this.
Several of these kids are here with first time state replacements. 23, 24, I think there was more than that because we had 2. We were 26. There's no safety.
I'd like, how about we each of you introduce yourself, so we know who what grade you're in and your name, please. Start with you.
And we do want to say.
Henry Spicer, from the exterior that is a 4x2, long jump, and 800.
I'm Keegan Perry, down on first software.
I'm Lady Hancock, I went in 7th grade for high jump.
What's the name? Paul Walker, 8th grade. Taylor Powell, 8th grade, 42. Ellen Richards, 7th grade, 4x2. on eighth grade, very basic work.
There's one year, sixth grade, though.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, coaches. Thank you. We're very proud of all of you, especially for representing. So if you don't mind, just come around, start with this guy right here. He looks a little shady. You're gonna shake his hand and just come around. We've never had this many people around.
Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Good job. There.
That's true. High school track. High school track athletes come up in the horseshoe. Coaches, you want to give us a summary or update on this?
I'm here with someone and the regular one. I'm Springer, and I was a junior, and I work for the.
My name's Jessica Larson. I was a junior, and okay, so I went in the 4x8, the 16 to 800.
Adam Flack, junior full way.
Same player, junior full day. Alex Gordon, sophomore full day.
So I'm strong distance for right now. But as for girls, they had a really awesome season. For instance, I mentioned we started with a really great season back in the north, so really they start training all the way back in December. And that motivation really has carried them along the season. So we did it in North last summer, we did it in North Acre, and then we also took the 4x8 to third place at the state. Going off of that, we kind of carried that motivation into the season. Ended up Jessica broke the 1,600 mile record for season record. very exciting. And then at a polo conference for outdoor season, the 4x8 broke the school record, which was set by my team back in 2016. So kind of cool, got to break the record at my team, so that's fun. And then they also broke the 4x4 record at the polo conference, which was set by Quinn Marks back in 2012. So that's kind of neat to be able to go, break that record and do it happen. And then yeah, we took a decent sized group to state. Thanks for taking some 2012 honestly. So kind of be open the land and Drew Weiss is out there today. She was another one who bring the 400 outdoor, and then it's also part of 4x8 and 4x4. And then Macy Kirk is another one. So really great job. Candy Kirk there was another one. She went high. So there was a lot of them. They did a really awesome job. I think overall they're just going to come back next year and hopefully do the same thing. And then the 4x8 did end up placing 8th overall outdoor state with 4x8, and then the 4x4 didn't make the finals, but they did get the school record. So, a lot of records.
So 2 tracks is really unfortunately fell about 0.7 short of qualifying for the all season. Golden sections this year and started with the second sectional 808. I think all 3 will go afterwards. So we went into the state prelims. Unfortunately, we weren't able to carry this momentum, but with the team full of 2 years in concourse on the relay team, excited for what you're for achieving next year. And that's one member missing here, Bill.
Great. Very proud of all of us. Start around there, Steve, shake hands, and we'll take a picture. Great job. Big softball team.
Okay, that's the highlights, coach. More regional for the first time in 7 years. We did a very good senior team. The dance, the 3 game and 3 day. We were record setting team. I didn't realize I was supposed to bring that. Batting average over 360 set a record. Number of RBI, unscored. Ray Moon set the record for hits for a season, stolen bases for a season, runs scored for a season. Sidney Donaldson set the record for RBIs with 50 whatever. Those are records. I don't know 10 for all I know. And 50 stolen bases, 60 hits. 60 hits.
60 hits.
60 hits. So three players actually broke the record for number of hits this year. Jersey Griffin hit 51 hits, which tied the record, and City Council had 56, which I think could also break that record. So this is a very good hitting game, and we couldn't have had the number 23 11, couldn't have done it without the great pitching. We had two very good pitchers that help in that category. Usually, right at one pitch, we usually work on it. So it was nice to have that too. We finished second in the conference. Our first goal for next year will be to win the conference. We have everyone back in sixth grade. So we have big shoes to fill, and I think we'll be fine. That's just our first goal. Really one goal, we'll have to decide what that is later. So, very good team, very coachable. Had great assistants from Kristen Harvey and Ryan and Katie Morris couldn't be here tonight. She's expecting maybe anytime soon, but that wasn't an excuse not to be here, but seeing to be home. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so Bree, do you want to start with introduce yourself and then we'll go around?
I'm Bria Vios, and I'm a junior. Maddie Kirk, junior. Dave Dawson, junior. Reagan Boone, senior. Lily Bradford, Natalie Armstrong. Cindy Donaldson, junior. Maya Harvey, junior. Alyssa Martin, sophomore. Right. Brian Carter, junior. Missy Hayes, freshman.
Couple more things, couple more records. Natalie Armstrong will go for record for home runs in the season. She hit 12 this year. I think 11 was the record. 10 and 11 she broke that record. And Maya set the record for runners thrown out. I think we were at 6, which is hard to believe. Doesn't sound like a big number, but she threw out 11 or what? So more than double, or at least double the runners thrown out. And I'm not sure what the deal was there. She threw them out. That's all, man.
So we got to get our coaches in the front. No, you brought over the head. Yeah. Why you can stay close to us, we'll talk about tomorrow for just a little bit. We'll fix that for you.
Oh, that's right.
Is
that someone's hat?
Oh, you gotta wait, we gotta wait. Sorry.
Is that their hat? Yeah, I see what yeah.
Okay, we're gonna officially start the budget review meeting, so we'll start with pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew? Jill? Yes. Chad?
Yes.
Alicia?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna first discuss the amended budget hearing, amended budget.
Sure. Yeah, the budget has been, the amended budget has been posted for 30 days. There are no additional changes needed at this time. Does anyone have any questions?
We take any action on that? or
Not right now, we'll do that later.
All right, so I need a motion and second to adjourn the budget hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Andrew? Jill? Jane? Yes. Chad?
Yes.
Alicia?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Now we'll, Christian call over the regular board meeting. And we'll roll call.
Jane? Yes. Chad?
Yes.
Alicia?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
We'll start off by asking, are there any visitors who wish to address the board this evening? Okay. We'll move to the first topic to actually approve the amended budget. Adoption of the amended budget as presented during the hearing. The motion is second. James?
Chad?
Yes?
Alicia?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Jane? Yes.
Thank you. Next, we'll go with the financial report. Kelsey?
Sure, looking at the fund balances, we're seeing a 2.93% increase over last year, with a net fund balance of $24,151,989.40. Looking at the operating funds, we're showing an increase of 6.14% increase over last year. This is a net total of $22,296,297.85. Looking at revenues in the ed fund, local revenue, $441,682.56. State revenue, $597,462.17. Federal revenue, $173,286.71. Those expenses over $5,000 are listed out in the packet. Recommendation would be to reimburse the trust account in the amount of $3,316.21, and the payment of bills in the amount of $1,368,403.60.
Any questions for Kelsey on the financials? I mean, motion is second to approve the financial report to reimburse the University County amount of $3,316.41 and pay the bills in the amount of $1,368,403.60. I'll second.
Alicia?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Jane? Yes. Chad?
Yes. Next, we have the consent agenda. There's some minutes there, cafeteria report, student teacher list, some fundraisers, annual software renewals, and EJ teacher baseball summer camp. Are there any questions about the consent agenda? Motion second to approve this consent agenda.
Motion.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Jane? Yes. Chad?
Yes.
Alicia?
Yes.
Next topic is correspondence. I do have a card here from Amy Miller, thanking the board and district for her retirement gift and acknowledgement. I'll pass this around to the board members to take a look at. And then next I have the superintendent report.
Enrollment enclosed is, as of 5/17/24, total enrollment is 2,272. This is 14 students less than the previous month, and 18 students less than the previous year. turn that around, and we're working on it. And hopefully in the next year or so, we'll tackle some of that. We need that projection to go in that direction. Before I turn the floor over to Kristen Hall, who's going to give us a transportation presentation, I would ask the board, if I can be done with the superintendent's report from Kristen finish. Is there any chance that we could hold a special board meeting on July 8th? That work for you? There's a few items that will come up here that we'll be talking about that, in my opinion, necessitate us to have another meeting in 2 weeks. And then, of course, after that, will be July 22nd board meeting, which a lot of it has to do with personnel, so we make sure we're fully staffed by the start of school. The 8th of July. Okay for everybody. What time? I take you, I go as early as you want.
I was visiting Indiana, so we do it at 5:30.
Yeah. Good, so what, session? 5:30? Got that, Jim?
5:30.
Yep. That good? Thank you. At this time, I'll turn the floor over to Kristen. I've asked her to come in and show some things. We've had some major changes to our transportation department, new software, things like that. That I think will be beneficial for you to see some of that. Turn it on, sorry. And we've been trying to find a good time to get Kristen here. She was actually off today. She didn't for her to do this, so I appreciate her doing this tonight. She keeps pretty busy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
So, I can start out with like PowerPoint for everyone, but showing you the real things, everything. So I'm not going to go a lot of details, but I don't want records to be shown, but this software is, it is awesome. For example, I took some screenshots. This is the app. So the app, that's what I'm most excited about this year. So if you're a parent and have kids in this district, you can see where your kids going. Like to the left, to the right is like his basic information of what bus he's riding, what days. Like we have kids that only ride 3 days a week. There are kids that move to dad 1 week and not the other. We can actually set that up and parents can see this. I've had several parents actually do this for me and watch it this year, and they love it. And which was kind of good because somebody got something we had happening. It didn't work. And she's like, can't see anything anymore. Well, I have a schedule that was still, it was actually perfect because everything is on here. You can see it moving, they cut down on that.
As long as you download the app.
And they have to ask for access, which I'll plan on having Kathy, my assistant, do when she gets back in. So she'll be giving, well, not back in registration, but for the beginning of the school year, there's like, we have to approve it. So now anybody can just have, like they can have an app, but they can't have access to their students' records or grandma and grandpa can't unless they give us permission. And then they can text on this and tell us, maybe they're not writing today, which is huge whenever they're split schedules. And I think we have having an average of 15 changes a day. So that's from kindergarten to high school, every single day of school. That was our average. I have Kathy keep all of our records. For that, it's a lot. So this is huge because when the parents call and their kid didn't get off the bus, they can still see right in the bus. Or we've had that happen several times. And then it's also nice because I can talk back to those that have like the English barrier. I am not good. I try to Google Translate and it doesn't work very good. So I can, if they download this app, I can talk to them. It's pretty neat. I think it's going to be huge this year for our rollout and kids. As long as the parents use it, they'll know what their kids' buses, their time and everything. So that right there is what I'm extremely excited about. There is here, like our advanced trips, we started putting the trips in, like our extracurricular trips in here, in March. Is when we started, it tracks everything. So, how many trips there were, the regular, it's softball, for example, we can, budget what we're spending on sports. Like, as far as travel, bus drivers, I mean, it's unlimited, you can invoice people, you can.
And the same thing is true for those activities, if you download the app, you can see when you're
This one's gonna be harder, but yes. it can
when
happen.
they go to the event, you can see when they return.
I'm just gonna have the roster,
That was gonna be one more challenge.
yes, because I have to have the roster, who's writing, and then, once we have it, we can, my understanding is we'll upload it each time.
So that might take a little bit longer to get that up to speed.
Yep. And there's,
Where this is going, we're hoping to be in a position that, you know, for child playing softball at 19, instead of calling the coach and texting back to the coaches and giving a buzz. I had a situation this year where one of the parents texted me, they were coming to a school trip coming back from St. Louis, their kid's phone went dead. So they're no longer being able to communicate back and forth. They're not here yet. You're not here with that. This would be a situation that we would run back. Kristen, no, we need this, because it's a geotag, basically is what it's doing. It's beyond the track all if I call it. So it's, there's just some logistics to the athletic side, and the field trip side, that are more difficult. As you can tell, the bus, regular transportation to and from school is more set, rather than, you know, we get on a bus and go to a baseball game, there's supposed to be 20 kids on there, all three of us say, but they're not on the bus today. Who's gonna be able to get that to Kristen or the bus driver? So we've got to work through, it'll probably take us 3 or 4 months to get there. But once it's there, I mean, you sit in your living room and see your kids in the yoga and wake back from that too, and you got how long it takes to get here, then you can be at the building. So that's kind of exciting.
it is, and there's more pieces to it, because like this is our rollout, and then they bus 20, special ed bus, and so if she's driving a different bus, you don't change it in here, so they're gonna track their kid, and nothing's gonna be happening. You're like, where's the bus at? Because I didn't change her bus number, but it's extremely easy. I put a sub driver on here, take her off this run, I add, it's so much easier than what we did in the past. There's just so many tools that it's overwhelming sometimes. Because the more we get into it, the more we find out what it does. I know Andy was needing some information with numbers where kids were as far as in our district. So this system, I'll look at. So this is our school district, right here, that's where all our kids live. We can narrow it down by, even the parochial schools that are registered, we can narrow it down by them. The high school, and so now all of three, that's our high school students. If we want to know where our seniors are, there's your seniors. I can add, here's what 10th graders and seniors, so there they are. So you can just break it apart however you want. Fantastic. So this is the county. You'll see there's some outside. Those are typically like teacher kids now. A couple of them are. Like if you see it, or they are kids that has to address their parents. So, but you can break it down in a lot of different ways. So a lot of statistics there. Our map, like if one of the drivers is out on a trip, for example, I can overlay the weather on this map by that traffic actually, so I can tell you that right now, don't go to Fairfield. And it's accurate.
He's giving us update every morning. But that's crucial for us. Okay? I mean, I hear our local talking, I hear our bus drivers, hey, they've got so-and-so shut down. It wasn't on the map.
Yeah,
Right?
like
It's in town.
our preschooler, we jump on the interstate from high school and preschool, they have to stop by movie center. Well, I got stuck on the interstate because of it. I didn't know, backed up and they said like 30 minutes and not every time because there's a school and the bus. No. But there's all kinds of, I mean, here we're like, this is our district and other districts as well. Like, I had our surroundings. So our boundaries are here, their boundaries are here. There's a lot of information, but there's all kinds of layers, like I said on here, that if there was rain anywhere, you would see it on the map. So it's, you can, and I can take it off, I can take it off. Traffic off, I can add, there's so many different layers you can add. So we haven't got time to play with that, and I think that there's going to be
Not that we're after it, but if I take off my school car and I turn the corner too fast, you can actually call me and go, what's going on? Slow down. We've done that recently before. Not me, thank goodness.
That,
Yeah.
that is the geopath, that is on another site, but these are, you can see where all our buses are. You'll see that. What's interesting, this right here is our van that was in the accident. That's at the junkyard. And they, we can't get the geopath because they didn't cut the cord off. So they recharged the battery so that you back on. But, yeah, that's the, that was the only answer.
So, what about like, you know, like a high price lawn or something?
No, that doesn't.
No, we
It's
can't.
not a bad idea, but I know what you're doing, but you gotta track it, but it's tough.
So right now, there's a few that don't think about buses. But I mean, you can see like, this is, I put in even like the maintenance. And like that's where our this is our extra buses and like our spares are sitting with the warehouses, the warehouse vehicles.
So tell me what happens out on the road with those units as if a bus breaks down.
So everything is, it tells me the search, not any on it right now.
They run the diagnostic.
Yeah, like so these are saying that they're online, it's because these are old buses that were just sold because you don't have that installed in our new buses. They're just hanging out in the office right now.
So we got a bus stop in town and get out in the middle of the country and it breaks down, it'll run a diagnostic test on it and be able to tell us back at the office, correct? Kristen, what's wrong with it? Which where that comes into play is do we send just a mechanic or do we send another bus? Because that bus is not operable, so we can go switch kids out and come back. We're gonna be able to do a lot of that type of decision making from the garage.
Yeah, so like a lot of times you go to your car to the shop. And that's what it's like. I don't necessarily want to serve or who say what is going on with the mission, but when they like pull over and help. This here is a report from our accident out at major collision on 423 at 3:41 p.m. Harsh braking, harsh flooring. It tells us everything about the accident. All this is every second it's being done. It's everywhere. So, and that report, yeah, I mean, like right here, driver seatbelt unbuckled at 3:42. So it just tells everything. So that's our acceleration, brakes, march braking, which the bad thing is some of those like cornering and I can't get to differentiate between bus and vehicle, which is different cornering. So you have to use common sense with some of them, like they're really not right. So I just, it's set up for the buses, not the van or vice versa.
So talk me through a little bit from implementation standpoint, of us purchasing this. Talk to them about what you've been through to get this to where you've been able to show them right now. What's been a journey.
As, yeah, Ryan, we started this when we were there. We started training, not until last year. So, yeah, a lot of them, vacation time is due because I feel like I go during the year, and so really was the busy. So we're trying to learn that Kathy, my assistant's part-time, and we're trying to figure this out to make sure we know where kids are going and what's going on with them. Because my kid rides bus, sports, like, but not on a daily basis. But Kathy's grandkids ride bus. So those parents wanting to know where their kids getting on and off is like an issue every year. This year it's not. Because of everything we've been doing, and it's a learning process. Hands-on. It's easier when you're in it, playing in it. Because we started getting training, it was all like another language.
But you've got a representative with the company
Yeah,
that has stayed with us.
she's like,
Absolutely. And there's still more things to do
and
with
she had
it.
actually got a promotion. She knows it. And when I know she loves me, and she says, because we're still better college. Because all of us don't understand this. But no, seriously, if there's like started, like, was under my desk with me the first year. I think program did pay off the very first year. But she goes like that. But yeah, she's still, helped me up the next year we'll go over already. It's just a matter of we are starting that next week, going through every single one of them, making sure they're good and
Thoughts, questions you have, another piece I think that you can share is with those geotabs. I don't know for sure how it will work for us, but at this point right now, if a bus for some reason were not to be on the correct route, okay, and we know why it might not be, God forbid that would ever happen, we should be able to track it on this device and know that it's off course and we've got a little bit of mission going on.
absolutely.
So I think there's things like that from a safety standpoint. As we progress, I will tell you that we're trying to find a way to tie that software program in with our security guards and the security system that is tracking on an hourly basis during the course of the day activity on the platform. So we're trying to be able to incorporate that.
Here's our route from last year. There's 62 runs a day that we do. And so we have midday runs, we have our afternoon runs, we have our specialized runs, but so these are our stops. These are our bus stops. Everything concerning bus routes, go here, go here, go here. I can go in and let's just say this is actually kind of a country stop. I can go in here and put, say, Lake Sarah. I can rename that stop so that the driver has a better understanding of where they're going versus a rural route address. Some of those get so long, like 10, 20, 157, whatever. It goes on and on. I can change it, but all I gotta do is go in there and take it out and move back to my bus stop. But like now this kid in that branch was like, leave it or now I want to pick one of the line driving. Before the software, it was honestly 28 steps. It was insane. So just completely rerouted that bus by rewriting that stuff to where I wanted it to go. So as far as that, probably doesn't mean all that you guys are seeing. It's days for the work. Per route. Like whenever you go in, you're trying to move things around. down and put barriers in. So there's, you can see where all your kids are, like all the numbers are bus stops. But yeah, it shows like this route, the morning route, so there's 44 kids on it, takes an hour and 22 minutes from leaving the garage to returning to the garage. And it's 30 miles long. Tells you all that information. There.
What are we doing with the, substitute bus drivers?
So right now, a lot of our substitute bus drivers are very familiar with all our routes, but we
So
never
we-
use them. Now, we don't have to utilize them a lot, but we are utilizing them. Carbon copy that we have to have. This is not going to start out with everyone using them, but basically it doesn't, it goes right in here, but there's one more I didn't show you. So, especially with our, this issue we have of getting a mechanic, this is going to be utilized, at the charge of this project. To help get it set up, we have that, this is what we have much, but putting in a work order is not hard at all. Explain what vehicle it is, but when we do our pre-checks on those tablets, if there's an issue, it actually puts it in here for you. So a ticket will be made for every vehicle that doesn't get permission on that. So there's no reading to make sure that you have the person on the other up there every morning. But this also has common reports when the guys who put the mechanics hourly wage in here. And how much the item is. Like, I put a generic one in here for dimensional coverage or something, which we know there, but so it's in its service, it's in house. Put the wipers across, the mechanics cost, the brakes it all down, run a report at the end of the year, you can break it down.
So while you're on that, question for you, you're saying Kathy will probably take that portion of it because Troy did it last year, correct?
He does it paper,
He doesn't pay for it.
he does it paper, and then we enter it into the spreadsheet. So now.
So if the board moves forward this evening with potential contracting out a bus mechanic as proposed, there's a good chance, because I talked to that company today, they were asking about how this is going to be handled. My question to you, because we haven't discussed this in the group contractually just yet. Do we need Kathy full-time instead of part-time, because she'll take this on, because Troy used to do it, and a new company coming in can't do this. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, she would, I mean,
We have, we're gonna have to have somebody to help the portion that the company's not gonna be able to run this program. But they're able to fix the machines.
This not only does it do the work, it does our 3 month, like we would track our 3 month visuals, but our 6 month inspection. I would have whoever does a midday routes, that's when our 6 months of inspection. That we have to track that. Troy tracks it on a huge whiteboard right now, which I don't. One person went in there, no good. Because I wanted to know if, like, this, but I mean, the other crazy thing is right here is all the mileage on all of us. I mean, that geo map tracks. It tells me right here, how many miles are on us. Which is awesome.
So it makes sense to go to this
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
For efficiency
Well, we don't
going
want
forward.
reverse as anything.
Right.
In the
But one of the things I think you as a board need to keep in mind is I can't put this on Kristen Hart as a director. She's already got all the other things that she's been doing. Now, Troy's retiring. I'm not replacing Troy with an internal person. I have to have somebody else to do some of these things. And again, for me, we're gonna have to consider Kathy or somebody or another half-time person. It's just something else to keep in mind.
Well, I think it's fun where you show, if you got any questions or anything, ask me, because it's like, these opportunities here, like, it's like,
Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it. That's it on the superintendent's report.
This, business on the rate.
That's, I'm taking care of it. She's not coming tonight. Basically, in essence, E-rate, I think just about everybody here, I'm pretty sure knows how that operates. It's an opportunity for us to, the government's paying for a portion of some of the expenses that we're incurring. Like in this case, I believe I looked over like $50,000 cost for internet, fiber transport, licensing for access points and switches. And they are, the district's gonna be on the hook for about $10,000 covered, and that's obviously 20% of, the overall. So increased from 70 to 80% this year. I'm assuming you're good with us taking money from the government and saving us money. That's basically in a nutshell what it is. This one's for internet, for fiber transport, licensing for access points and switches.
Okay, so I'm gonna motion a second to approve the 2024 rate services and products of $10,098.20. Any motion? Motion. Steve?
Second.
Second, Bishop? Roll.
Mayor King?
Yes.
Jane, yes. Jack?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Steve?
Next topic is, job descriptions for the IT department.
Yeah, as Chad asked earlier, this probably should come after closed session because we actually take action on the exodus of our technology director who is taking another job, which is later in the board meeting. Emily Flock is going to work for LTC, which is, yeah, you probably show me a better, but basically technology hub for our region.
The school districts and they create a lot of training. They go to schools, some of them are contracted by schools to come in and work for different things.
So what we're proposing through conversations with Emily, one of the reasons that she's leaving is because of the magnitude of responsibility on one person's plate with the upgrades and enhancements that have taken place over the years with technology. Cameras, security cameras, we've doubled in security cameras. We've doubled in devices in 3 years that she's been here. You have a superintendent that wants more technology. With that comes, there's a price to be paid. There's lots of technology that we don't even have in the district yet that I am itching to get here. So in discussions with her, and I've had them for the 2 years that I've been here, she spent lots of time talking to me. I'm very frustrated with not being able to do what she felt she was hired to do, which was get in more into integration side and make a huge difference in the classroom for kids and staff. So I'm proposing, and again, it came from her, as for 2 years, to me, basically to change her position from technology director to director of innovation and instructional technology. But technically replacing her, and then add a second position, which would be a position for the district, and that would be an information technology supervisor. And to me, jump in if you want to, Kelsey too, but to me, the IT side of this is more on that person would, we have a great IT staff with Rob Shotman and Kurt Hammer and Drew Davis that we brought on, and Jacob Jenkins. This person would kind of oversee that group of people and work with them and be entrenched in more of the hardware, software, and the day-to-day, when this director could then, which is what Emily was hired for 3 years ago, be more over on the technology side, but she still kind of hovers over it all. She or he, obviously moving forward, she in this case, because it's Emily. So that's in essence where this recommendation has come from.
Yeah, I had a chance actually with her parents right after you had notified exactly what she had shared as well. And I think it's good for us from a succession perspective to have supervisor under a director, so if there is future turmoil, that kind of thing, if you have that redundancy, kind of goes along with what Kristen was saying about the software in her area. We need Kristen be the only person who knows how to handle all that. Because, she never gets a day off. If she's on vacation or has an emergency of her own, we gotta have somebody else that can help keep the district going. So, initially, I think it was a coordinator role, but we really need someone a little higher level than that. So, really, any questions on the job descriptions that were in the packets? The director or the supervisor role?
And the hope of that, from a timeline standpoint, will be that we'll post it tomorrow, we'll post those two positions tomorrow morning. Thus, as I stated earlier in the meeting, that I'd like to have a special board meeting on the 8th. Would love to be in a position to secure both those positions at the 8th meeting, simply because it could be internal people as well. And if that's the case, we have a trickle down effect, and I've got to go face those people. And I'm not saying it would or would not be. I'm certainly be open to lots of people potentially to help out in that area. And then later we'll talk about a little bit as a collective group in closed session about some more technology moves potentially to help enhance where we're headed as a district. So anyway, that my hope would be that if you're okay with advertising tomorrow, we'll try to get it advertised tomorrow. We should hire somebody, especially in the replacement spot for Emily, by the 8th, because she's leaving on the 22nd of July. That's a pretty big plug with where technology is today.
I need a recommendation, I need a motion, a second, to approve the job descriptions for a director of innovation and instructional technology and an information technology supervisor.
Motion.
Second by Mitchell. Roll.
Yes, Chad.
Yes.
Kristen.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Next up is the approval of consolidated district plan, which includes the school-wide title plans for ELS, SS, and Central, and the school improvement plan for EHS.
Basically, this is something that we do every year to be in a position to apply for title grants and things like that to the Illinois State Board of Education. So it's not really just a repetitious expectation that we have to fill out different information requirements that they. There has to be a box checked on everything that we send to ISB if we're trying to go after money. This is one of the boxes that has to be checked in order to be eligible to get money. And we do it every year.
Need a motion to approve the consolidated district plan. Motion by Steve, I'll second. Roll.
Jane, yes, Chad.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Chris. Yes.
Praise the Lord. Next up is the property casualty, cyber, and workers' compensation insurance renewal.
So, we bid out property casualty, cyber and workers' compensation insurance this year. We use Bushy HR for that. Coming back, Travis has a recommendation, and I follow with this recommendation as well, that, we would move to Illinois County's Risk Management Trust for a package, including Previsor for the workers' compensation, Travelers for cyber, which we currently have Travelers right now. And this would be a cost savings of 20% for a total of $463,045.
Any questions on the renewal?
So the total savings would be over $120,000.
I need a motion and a second to approve the 25 property casualty, cyber, and workers' compensation renewal. Total cost of $463,045. Motion by Steve.
Second.
Second by Jane. Roll.
Jane, yes, Chad.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Chris.
And then the second part of that would be the property casualty insurance for Mill Hart's shopping center.
Yeah, so we did not bid out for Lowhart's. We are actually just seeking renewal from Erie Insurance and West Bend. There's a slight increase. I think it's almost $200 increase from last year. So for a total cost of $14,198.
Any question on that? Okay, and then I need a motion and a second to approve the 25 fire department casualty insurance from Erie, Sheriff West Bend, for the department's chocolate center, cost of $15,198. Motion, Erica.
Second.
Second, motion.
Chad,
Yes.
Tricia,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Erica, yes.
Series of other bids here. We have the dairy bid. And then we'll share on that.
No, that's the next four, because there were some questions I might ask of some of the board members, why some of the people weren't considered. Such for instance, when you deal with a pizza bid, it's gonna come up with Domino's. Every place in town does a bid. Not sure why they don't. It's a conversation the finance officer will have. I'll look into that because I would like to see competition and
We'd like to see local.
right. Absolutely. Yep. So we will target some of those people in the future.
I mean, they haven't in the past, we haven't that.
Correct.
So anyway, we're going to start with dairy bid, and the motion second to accept the dairy bid from Prairie Farms Dairy for 24-25 school year. I'll make a motion.
Second,
Second, Erica. Roll.
Tricia, Steve, Erica, yes. Katie, and Chad.
Yes. Next is the bakery bid, and one bid was received on that, and that's from Alpha Bakeries. And so I need a motion in a second to accept the bakery bid from Alpha Bakeries for the 24-25 school year. Motion Steve,
Second,
second Erica.
Erica, yes. Katie, and Chad.
Yes.
Tricia, yes.
Next is the pizza bid, and the district bids pizza supplier, one pizza bid was received from Domino's. Motion in a second to accept the pizza bid from Domino's for the 24-25 school year. Motion by Chad.
Second,
Second Erica.
Tricia,
Yes.
Steve, Erica, yes. Katie, and Chad.
Yes. Finally, grocery bid, annual district bids for grocery suppliers, one grocery bid was received from Kohl's. A motion is second to accept the grocery bid for Kohl's for the 24-25.
Motion,
Motion Erica.
Second.
Second Dexter. Roll.
Tricia, yes. Steve,
Yes.
Erica, yes. Katie, and Chad.
Yes. Next, we have the building access control system.
The unit office is the only building, I believe, in the district right now that does not have some kind of system to that extent, pretty easily accessible. And we would like to change that. So that's what this is about. And so
Oh, this is security system.
yes, security system with Intech. And we're looking at that out for.
Any questions about the security system? Did not realize we didn't have a security system. District office, yes.
Yes.
Would it work so that when teachers have to use it?
Ideally, it's the same system that is in the building, so ideally, yes. Understandable, yeah.
And you can ask, like, our system where I work is, it has certain access for all employees during regular business hours, and beyond that, it's just assuming only certain badges will work after. Oh, okay. I need a motion in a second to accept the Intech proposal of $19,750 to complete the access control upgrades for the board office.
Motion,
Motion Erica.
Second.
Second Steve.
Steve,
Yes.
Erica, yes. Katie, yes. Chad.
Yes.
Tricia,
Yes.
Next one's the computer science grant. Probably a couple months ago, we asked the approval to apply for the computer science grant. That grant, when it came out, was advertised as up to potentially $330,000 a year for 3 years. Obviously, puts you ballpark of about $1 million. Without a question, I felt we could probably use $1 million worth of grant money for 3 years. So asked you and you said, yes, apply. Since then, we did apply. I actually secured someone to write the grant for us because I don't have grant writers here and we don't have people that have the time. We had to go through this rather quickly from the time that we found out about it, which by design purposely for the unmistakable education was a short window of opportunity. We were awarded, this person awarded, we were awarded $51,009. That's a long way from $330,000 that I was shooting for. I'm struggling to, and I don't want to come across that I'm not appreciative. $51,000 is still $51,000. But my aspirations, as we listed for board members here, is about $330,000 we were going to spend. It's now going to have to be backed up to $50,000. If you approve for us, because when I asked you, I didn't ask you if you were approved for us to accept it. I just wanted you to allow us to write the grant, especially since I was on the grant writer outside of and we would pay for that. I will say that we've been awarded it. It is, from my understanding, going to be a grant that, as long as the governor allocates the appropriate amount of money every year for the General Assembly, there will be, at a minimum, I'm thinking $51,000 every year for 3 years. My hope is that they find some more money, which then we all know where that comes from. So I don't know that depends on how you want to ask for it. But I would like to see it. I would like to hope that it increases. The reason that it was only $51,009 and $330,000 is because they had 3 times the applicants in the state of Illinois that they anticipated. They awarded 72 of these awards. I don't know for sure that they everybody that applied, and I don't know if everybody got the same amount of money. I don't know all those details. I just know that there were 72 people awarded because I asked them if we were still eligible for 330, and they said no. So I'm asking you tonight to just approve us to use that grant money, to accept the grant, and to use that to go to work on entering it into IWAS, which is the Illinois State Board of Education website, and where this is all housed. And we will have to now take the $51,000 and allocate for it, and that has to be finished by August 31st of this year, because this is an FY 24 technically instead of 25. So it's actually 24, 25, 26 is the 3 years that this should represent. So we're already technically going to need to spend this money rather quickly to approve it once we get it in there and figure out how to move forward. I'm not looking to use it for salaries just because I don't think the sustainability side of it's very valuable. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm heavily interested in Z-Space. And once you've paid much attention to it, I think probably some of our tech folks have paid some attention to it. Z-Space is the greatest opportunity out there today educationally. Lakeland just landed 20, they're getting 20 out in their lab, and they're going to put us in a position that we can potentially use it at the Patterson building. I'm going to get some here for some people to practice. I actually ordered one because they're $6,300 a piece with all the software and everything, but I want to get one in the district and get it going so we can get a feel for whether this is something that's beneficial or not. There's all kinds of software programs on it. You can do a dissection of a cat, a human, I mean, just about anything. You want to weld, you can buy a software program that will just help you go through the welding process on it. And it's incredible. But my point behind that is that it's very expensive endeavor to take on. $51,000 is not going to take care of our district, and probably this first round we won't even use that $51,000. And then you approve it for that, but we will put the $51,000 to good use if you allow us.
Just to clarify, it's for years 25, 26, 27, or 24, 25, 26?
Well, it's kind of weird. I think it is 25, because this is 24, 25 again. So it is technically 25, 26, 27. It just has to be, we have to have it filed by August 31st of 24 to be able to receive the money.
Any questions about the grant? Any motion and second to approve the acceptance of the computer science grant for 25, 26, and 27. Motion Besha, second Steve.
Before you take it, look at the motion. And that also is to move forward with that. And that's what ours was. So yours shows. Yours shows what? We're in what grade just.
Oh, because it's in the, yeah, I definitely got that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was taken care of. That's the same person earlier. So amend the motion, what it's basically saying, not, just mark that part out, because they already took care of that.
Right.
Just approve the computer science grant for 25.6%. Thanks, Greg. Good point. My error, sorry.
Yeah, just to clarify again, we're making a motion second to approve the acceptance of the computer science grant for 25, 26, and 27. Motion Dasher. Second Steve. Roll. Yes. Yes. Next topic is EHS activity accounts. We're seeking approval for an activity account only at the time to start up the FFA program at the high school. Does anyone have any questions about the activity account for the FFA program?
Not for the FFA, but do we still have a Pepsi account? I don't see it listed.
So we do have a Pepsi account, yeah, the district Pepsi account.
Right.
Yeah. Right now, we are basically just doing the student accounts. That's why Pepsi is not listed. This is just for student activity.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there should be all the student activity accounts at the school.
Any questions on the motion? Any motion is second to approve the activity accounts for EHS for the 24-25 school year.
I'll make it.
Motion by James, second by Mindy.
Erica? Yes. Andrew? Yes. Chad?
Yes.
Bishop? Yes. Steve?
Next is the approval and amendment and extension to the consultant agreement signed between the Board of Education and School District 40 and Denby and Essex. You should have
Very nice with us, juveniles, spent 6-9 months with us, basically. For the exodus of Kevin, Henry, when Kevin left, we brought on June, he has been incredible. Really, to be honest with you, we are healing the numbers and processes, and you're gonna see a extremely data-driven district, no matter the time, 6 months, 6 months, I think we will be.
She's not clear. It wasn't just like bring the data and put it in, we rebuilt it. Like Kristen kind of said, you don't know the program, you don't really know what's going on until you get into it. And she's helping all that out, she's helping show us what else to do.
It's been amazing, so we would like to extend that contract, that is basically what we're asking, to go ahead and work with this year as well. Really, it's pretty minimal overall expenditure. She's been, like I said, amazing.
So how long will we extend it?
Is it saying, I didn't want to.
So I'm asking for 6 months, a year. I'm assuming we have to sign some kind of agreement.
Yeah, we do, and it doesn't say. Yeah, well, basically, it's $2,500 a month, and I think the contract is in essence to the point that we want to say we're not. So if 3 months from now, we say we're done, it doesn't necessarily have a deadline.
But it's just the requires
Oh, yeah. I didn't think back for that, sorry. There you go.
So July 20. So it starts in August.
So committee,
Sorry,
sorry,
that's
that's a year, what if we finish, do we make one meeting in a year?
I think the term is
sooner.
Yeah, it didn't say that, does it?
If we need another year, that's fine.
I think our intent was a year.
Especially with the turnover on the IT right now,
Yes.
I think it was a year.
Let's do a year if you don't mind.
So I need a motion and a second to approve the agreement with June Miles as data consultant unit 40 for another year, taking us through the 24-25 school year. Motion by Steve.
Second.
Second by Bishop. Roll.
Jane, yes, Jack,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
First reading of press policy.
But
These are fantastic.
I would just say as it's saying listed, if I were you, I would not list them all. And I do want to highlight one of them.
Yeah, I just saw the highlights. I wasn't sure.
I want to highlight 7270, partly because we sought your approval from press originally when it came out. And they're doing some more homework, especially with the Board County firm that I'm asking them to switch us to. They've suggested us to go in and add a section underneath school district supply of undesignated asthma medication to read differently than what the press policy actually came out. And then to delete school district supply of undesignated oxygen tanks. Okay, we don't have oxygen tanks laying around and nor do I want them. If we didn't remove this, then we would need to supply those based on press policy. And then also want to add a void policy, which is the school district supply of undesignated asthma medication policy. Void whenever superintendent goes into 2 or 3 different things. And then also pull out the school district supply of undesignated oxygen tanks, another portion of the press policy, and then the bottom of the insert the data. So technically, this is the first reading of a policy that you've already approved that we're seeking your approval to potentially amend in 1 month. That makes sense? Because there were things in there that when we got to doing some digging after we had approved it, we weren't aware of ahead of time. But there was things that we just really are. First of all, we're not going to purchase oxygen tanks and we'll maintain them on property. And we also have to put some policy and procedures in place for the other medications that like asthma and things like that and have trainings. So we will adhere to what the attorneys are advising us to do, which is different than what the press policy is looking at. That makes sense. Confusing enough?
So there's no action to that.
There's no action tonight.
Posting these press policies for review.
Yep.
As outlined in the agenda. That more information will be available for us to take action.
Absolutely.
Right.
Correct.
The next topic is discussion about the architect, RFQ, CMRFQ, and facilities vision plan.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'll pass these around to board members. And these are drafts that I think I shared with you. If I haven't, though, here with a copy. The firm created entourage with GLD Architects has created a survey we talked about at the community engagement meetings. About once those 2 meetings were over, we would send out a survey to compile some more data for more people from the community that we haven't had the opportunity to do so far. So working backwards off of the discussion, there's no action item on this item for tonight, but I wanted 3 things from you tonight, if you don't mind. And that is direction on, and again, it doesn't have to have official action. I want to know, do you want to secure an architect different from the current architects that we have at this point right now? And I've supplied some information for you, and basically state law. There are exemptions for seeking RFQs, requests for quotes or requests for proposals, and we fit one of those exemptions. The exemption is if you are currently working with an architect and you're satisfied with them and you spend less than $40,000 on an architect, then you can agree as a school board can bring that architectural firm on to represent us in any future projects in which we have. At this time right now, our current architect that has been used for years here, that's EM Architects. The
The CM is Effort Construction. And then the rest of what she's dealt with has just basically been, subcontract. BLDP Architects showed up here, showed us, a project that we engaged in, which was the assessment of facilities for the purpose of figuring out what we need to do next. And then we worked with them again. And another agreement, with both agreements that we've had so far with BLDP Architects, under $40,000. So one example would be, you could, if you wanted to, state to me that we want to move forward with the LDD Architects as our architectural firm to consider the facilities vision plan that we've been working on. At some point, we need to endorse, so that we're in a position that we can be able to share that with the public based on the referendum question that's been put on the ballot. So what I'm asking you tonight is, do you want me to seek RFQ, request for quotes from multiple architects? And do you want me to seek RFQs from multiple CMs, which are construction managers? Or, and you don't have to, basically, you don't have to, we're not making a decision tonight. I'm not asking you to make a decision to take action. I'm asking you what kind of procedure you want me to move forward with. And do I seek RFQ, or do you want to have conversations at some point about which architectural firm and or CM that you prefer to move forward with? And that's what I'm asking there. Plus the third item is the facilities vision. That, in my opinion, I would love to have all of these secured, all three of those items that I'm talking about, secured at the July 22nd board meeting, so that at that board meeting, we could announce, here's going to be the architect moving forward, and maybe it's FGM. You know, FGM is the architect currently that's been with the district for a long time. You like Effort Construction. Those two, because we've worked with them, I think that we can stay on and extend. Or you're in a position that you could bring on the architect, which is the LDD architect. The CM, there is no request for proposal process. You can just pick that person if you want to. But you also, as a district or as a board, have the right to seek any kind of information that you would want me to research with those people. So I'm asking you tonight that, and then basically I think that July 22nd board meeting, I would love to be in a position to say, here's what the board endorses moving forward. Number one, if there's a sales tax, obviously the referendum is going to go on the ballot in November. If it were to pass, what are you going to do? What are we as a district going to do? If it doesn't pass, what are you going to do? There's the other thing to keep in mind. The legislation changed 2 weeks ago. And the legislation changed to the point that said, if you are building any facility on property and you are expanding your opportunities or upgrading your opportunities to house pre-K students or kindergarten students, you do not have to go to a referendum for that project. Okay, now that digest, everybody get where I'm coming from? So, here's what that is in essence saying. You as a board have the authority now that if the referendum doesn't pass in November, that you could go build what's been estimated right now to us as a $40 million building, which would house K through second grade students, and you do not have to go to the taxpayers to ask them for permission. Okay? That is a game changer legislatively. I can get you the House bill on it if you need more information on it, which I think I shared with you as a board, that I can share with the public. Here's what that means, because I did a little bit of homework. It's a significant increase in property taxes to build a $40 million building and pay for it over 20 years. The sales tax will increase property taxes zero. What you need to decide and be thinking about between, in my opinion, I would love to put us in a position that at the July 22nd board meeting, a month from now, that you're in a position to say to the public, if the 1% sales tax passes, here's what we're going to do.
If the 1% says that doesn't pass, here's what we're gonna do. Because what you also need to think about is, in those community engagement meetings that we've had, and all the research that's been done by several stakeholders, it's become very evident that we have needs. Our need doesn't go away. Referendum passed, referendum doesn't. The need is still there. And so we have to have a plan of attack on where we're going if indeed it passes or doesn't pass. Does that make sense? So I think we should be in a position, or I hope you would help me be in a position at no later than the 22nd of July, which again, we'll have a special board meeting on the 8th. Now you also understand why I would like the board meeting on the 8th, because at the 8th, if you looked at me right now and said, you know what, bring us a recommendation to the 8th board meeting for an architect, CM, and a vision plan, and we'll discuss it at that meeting and turn around at the 22nd, endorse where we want to go with those 3 items. I can do that for you. If you want me to go out to RFQ, I can put that out. I might be able to get it out tomorrow. I can be around most of the rest of the week, so it might be a little tough, but I can clear it out and try to have all of that information back for the July 8th board meeting for you to have 3, 4, 5 different architectural firms and spend time dissecting those down to which one you would be interested in securing for the project moving forward. Now, you might be sitting there saying, okay, why would we even want an architect or a CM in July? Well, in my opinion, here's one. If you were to choose option B, which is probably not the option I would choose, which is build a $40 million building and raise property taxes, you technically are in a position right now to be able to say to an architect and a CM, please start the process on putting together schematic design, high-level prices, and bring it to us. We'll start working through it. I think there's an outside shot that by November 5th, you could have your project down to DD, which is design development, and say, on November 6th, we're putting a stake in the ground of a new building. And we get in that building probably 6 months earlier than what we would have been able to get in that building if we waited until after the referendum to make a decision. So if you said right now, we need a K-2 building, doesn't matter, we have got to build one, we got to go build it. We got 2 options on how to pay for it. And there's more than 2 options, but basically in essence, you're looking at 2 major differences in options in order to secure a building of that nature. So let me stop there. You give me your plans. My comfort level is very good with BLD architects right now after the research that they've done. FGM Architects has been with us for a long time, so I think that should be something that's considered. Everybody in the state seems to know that we were doing community engagement meetings. And architects and everybody in the group, they start showing up on the woodworks. So really, truly, I think a lot of legwork's been done in some of these areas. For me, from an efficiency standpoint, I'd love for you to say to me, bring a recommendation back to the next board meeting, architect, CM, and the vision that you have for moving forward from a projection project standpoint. I can give you, I've already got some of it, I can give you what the cost effect will be on the community on both levels. Obviously, one of them 0, but the other one's significant. And I wouldn't want that number floating out there because, again, that may not even be an option that you want me to consider. And if not, then there's no sense in anybody ever talking about what that particular number is. It's not something I'm very interested in, but I'm also interested in getting right in this district what needs to be done on a facility standpoint, so that years from now, people aren't sitting in our seats making these tough decisions. It's a lot easier to make those decisions. And there's a way to do that.
A couple of things. when do they plan to send out this survey? Because I feel like there's still a certain amount of education for us to learn on what the public really wants. There's also some education that has been fine through the presentations and so forth, and
Right.
Tucker has done some work for us as well. And things have worked out well, but I don't know what other options we may want to consider as well. Because again, when we're talking about the pizzas, I know we have some local architects, contractors and stuff that have done projects like this as well that I think we should consider if they're interested. But my first thing is I would really like to know some of the information from this survey from the population before we start making decisions on the project overall.
Absolutely. So I've been in discussion with the BLBD folks and find the right document. About that very question. And partly because I wanted to have this all lined up, ready to go, right, just pretty quick. But I think in essence, the survey, I think they feel like the survey could go out. There's some tweaks. I've sent it to you and we provided some feedback, but you haven't endorsed it to go. So what else needs to be done before we would send it? It goes to their creator of surveys, which the template is already in there. So I'm gonna guess that it's probably a week away, let's say. I think my conversation was with the idea that possibly have all the information back by the 29th of, put it out, have it back by the 29th, so put it out for about a month, and then be able to have the information to you as a board, to be able to come to the August meeting with your vision for projects. I'm seeking the July group, but you could probably put it back along with a survey that's coming in to be able to help you make that decision.
So I was thinking, looking at the calendar, it'd be great if we could finalize it. I would not send it out the week of the 4th of July. But if we were to send it out the week following, like, give them a deadline of the 19th, you don't really want to drag that out any longer than a couple of weeks, otherwise you won't get very back. But you can send a series of reminders from the 8th and 19th. I'm sure they can tabulate the results. But what makes you make it the 17th and give them 2 days so we can at least get a draft of the results of the 22nd?
Here's what I sent to all of them, and I did a copy to you guys, so I apologize. I had a copy of it. Whoever is going to send out the survey should do so July 8th at 9 a.m. If it is district doing this, do we utilize parent staff emails? So I'm asking them, I think they actually do it. They'll have a QR code on it that we can put out social media wise. They send out, I think they want to send out postcards and stuff with it on it. Again, this is not necessarily something we as a district are going to be doing. It would be this group that's overseeing the community engagement part of it. Post the survey until July 29th at 7 p.m. Data presented to the board sometime after the July 29th end date. Develop a plan to seek board approval at the 8/19/24, which is the August board meeting, with a facilities and financial plan tentative to moving forward with or without the sales tax revenue. And then also I had on here from a plan standpoint, secure architect and a CM at the 7/23 board meeting and start moving forward with plans with architects as we come off of the summer. The point behind getting the architect and the CM in place is that we need somebody driving the ship on what you're going to build and how much it's going to cost, and some of that kind of stuff needs to start, get some of that to start.
Yeah, the only thing I can challenge that one, that's too long. Basically, employee surveys that have to be done, so leave it out there too long.
So you would go to what? 2 weeks?
Did you say it's a postcard format? It's not going to be electronic?
Actually, it will be electronic.
Oh,
Postcard.
okay, sorry.
And then they also actually, you said, in the last place that they provide, everywhere, they provide the opportunity that if you want a hard copy, the district office will have it, you can
it was gonna fix it. He said the last survey they did, they got about 700 or 800 back, and then 4 of them were paper copies. And so it's very minimal.
Yeah.
But it is an option. So I'm just seeking direction from you on those 3 items. What I had this item on here for tonight. Just tell me what you want me to do. I got all kinds of information.
I think it'd be great to have some recommendations and discussion at the July 8th meeting on the first 2 items. And then I think the third, we really need some information from the public to help us decide a strategy for the third item. That's just my opinion, but. Yep.
I agree.
Good. Okay, will do. Thank you. Now with that, you're not asking me to seek an RFQ process, you're just asking me to
Make a recommendation.
make a recommendation.
And if you decide you want to do,
And I'll let you know
we
that.
can do that.
Yep, we could do it the next meeting.
Yeah, well, we can do it that night.
Right. Absolutely.
Vote either way.
Yep.
Whatever your recommendation is.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for open session? Okay. If not, we're going to adjourn the closed session. Need a motion and a second to end and move into closed session. Motion by Steve.
Second.
Second by Erica. Bill?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And we will come back live. We do have 2 items, 3 items, and then we'll be details shared most likely with a couple of those items. You're gonna ask me how long? Sorry.
Great.
Can I ask one more thing before you leave, or I'm leaving, I guess?
Absolutely.
I want to make sure I understood what you said about that.
Yep.
It said that you can build a pre-K or K building without referendum.
Correct.
So does that include a pre-K to 2 building?
Yep. Yep, that's based on what we.
Pre-K is a part of it.
Correct. All it has to do is be part of it. You'd probably like to have the documentation on that, wouldn't you?
Well, you got to know.
It's HB 4582, Public Act 103-0591. You're looking at dates, the governor signed it on June 7th.
That's what I was, that was my other question.
This entire
Did he sign
thing
it?
just got switched down to that.
Yep.
The only thing.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you something, it's huge.
Well, yeah.
It is. Yep.
I'm not starting my reelection. I'm not sure anything else. You guys know me, know I'm pretty conservative. But that does not surprise me.
No, that's crazy.
Well,